Okay, this is making baguettes. We need 250 grams of each of white flour and brown flour, because I make them mixed, half and half. This will make 4 mini baguettes. 250 grams of white, 250 grams of brown. Right. You want 2 teaspoons of salt, which makes 10 grams, because it was 5 grams for 2 baguettes. 1, 2. One side of the bowl, and the other side of the bowl, yeast. 1 sachet of yeast does whatever size of bread you want to make. No bother with that. Have the Tesco yeast. Right, so that's the solid stuff in there. Tablespoon. 4 tablespoons of olive oil. Put all this in at the beginning, it's easier. Then we've only got the water to add after that. Right. This now goes onto the mixer, so we'll move around. So we place the solid stuff into the mixer, let it down, get the mixing going. Probably won't hear me after this. Just in case, here I have 360 millilitres of water with a little bit of containing some of its hot water to make it just a little bit off cold. Now we're meant to use all of this water, I think, compared with making other bread where you make it so it just comes off the side of the bowl and makes a solid dough. This is going to be quite a wet dough, so we put it all in and then panic that it's too soggy. But here we go. Low for a start so it doesn't go too wild. It's all a bit random in there at the moment. We have confidence that it'll all come together in a bowl. Nearly all the water gone now. If you put the water all in and it all goes squidgy in the bottom of the thing, it will eventually absorb it all anyway. You know, at the moment it's looking quite soggy, so we'll put a bit more in. There we are. Gone. Now it's all going squidgy, you can hear it. Hopefully that will all absorb. It makes a very wet dough. I think it's very swidgy. So that's what the instructions said from the poor Hollywood. Let's see if it incorporates it, or if it doesn't, we'll just put some more flour in, just to absorb the remaining water. Yeah. squeaky. I'll just put a little bit more flour in. As you'll see, it's all a bit cool of it at the bottom at the moment, so we'll put some more flour in. Sorry about the inconvenient video. Happening. It's gradually incorporating everything off the bottom of the bowl. And as we'll see if we stop it, it's pretty soggy. I'm going to leave it at that because that's, I think, how we want it. Right, we let it go. More speed. And that has to go for 10 minutes or so, and what you want in the end of it all is a dough that is very elasticated. You can pull it out to 30 centimetres without it breaking. We may achieve that, we'll see. So, I'll switch you off for the moment and we'll come back in a minute. Okay, so it had 15 minutes in the mixer, and it's ended up with a pretty soggy looking thing. It did end up making a pool at the bottom of the bowl for a bit and sticking to the bowl, so I did add a little bit more flour to stop that, but it's still very sticky. So that's why they recommend you do it in the mixer rather than by hand. I think I've done that bit there first. Now we're going to transfer it to an oil bowl to leave it to rise for a while. So I shall put it a little way in the bowl, push it round. See if we can get it out of the bowl. Tip it out, I think it's sort of encourage it out. There we are. Very soggy stuff, and it does stretch quite nicely, and it also sticks to your hand, which is why I said before I don't recommend you do it by hand. Live, I tell you. Right. Getting what one can off one's fingers. We then put the cling film over the top and put it somewhere warm to rise. I'll take it upstairs, put it in the oven cupboard. So that's what it looks like at the moment. Quite a mobile bit of dough, but heavy hopes of that trying to climb out of the bowl at some point. So we'll resume when it's had its time in the oven cupboard. So here we are back again after nearly an hour and a half. with the dough, well, it was reaching the top of the bowl and pushing up the cleanser, so that worked okay. Ooh, lovely and soggy and spongy and alive. So we put it out on the board and squash it out a bit. It'll come. Come. There we are. Oh, lovely. Oh, very spongy. Bit of him. Right, we knock that there into a further mess. Quiet you. Rattling noise and so we just squidge it down, fold it in on itself a lot of times. Talk amongst yourself a bit. Oh, it's lovely stuff though. Oh, it doesn't stick to the fingers quite so much now, which is useful. Does a bit though. Getting worse. World. Right, nearly there. So what we're preparing to do now is to chop it up into 4 pieces. And I like to do things exact. I use the excellent kitchen scales to do it. Look at that. Look at this squash. Oh, that's 50-50. And again, to make it into 4. How long it's easy to estimate half and half. Not bad, yes. Easier than doing a lot of rolls. It's a tedious journey doing all these divisions. However, there we are. Right, we have 2 small ones and a big one cut up later. Now this is going to be a baguette. And ultimately it's going to sit in these lovely baguette trays. Let's make sure I can still see everything on your... Yeah. Even after I've hit the tripod. Okay, so what I've got to do now is roll this out and make it look like a baguette. So what you do, I think I'll try zooming into it a bit further so you can see a bit better. So what we do is roll it out into, or spread it out into an approximate rectangle. Like that. Getting it longer and longer. And then fold it over. And fold it over. And fold it over. Till it eventually becomes a sausage. Nice and long, a bit crinkly, that doesn't usually seem to matter. That's the next one a bit better. I'll put it on these lovely metal baguette trays, solid bits of kit, non-stick. I've used them before with oil or flour and stuff. It seems to make more of a mess than doing that, so I just use them neat. Actually, that one's not very good at the moment. I'm going to redo that one because it was a bit creases in it. Nothing but perfection here. Yeah, stickier than I'm used to. I'm making them hopefully better this time. Alright, put some flour all over them. I'll get that and pull it out. There we are, one. Try another one a bit more smoothly, shall we? I'm cool now. The airing cupboard was at 26 degrees I measured, so that's a good temperature. It seems to make these things rise in under 2 hours. Over, fold it 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 over. I don't know how many times I'm going to do this, but it seems the more the better, to give it some strength. Right, that's another sausage. Two. You alright for a minute? No, that's two done. I'll won't bore you with the remaining two. I'll resume when we put them in the oven. Right, just before we do anything else, put them away. Here's what we've actually got now. Four baguettes on their trays, and they've got to be now put away in the warm to rise for a bit. And what seems to work, cover them up, stop them drying out, keep a large freezer bag, keep the draft and stop them drying out, completely cover them, but that's the best we can do. Haven't got anything else. Two of those. Just make sure the dough doesn't stick to the bag during the course of the proceedings, but not too much. Right, there we are. Baguettes in bags. I shall now put them in the airing cupboard. Hopefully it's still warm enough, and we'll resume when the size has increased suitably. Right, the baguettes have now risen in the airing cupboard for must be 2 hours now. That took a bit longer because we had to use the kitchen for cooking, for eating and stuff, so that took a little while. Just a moment. So, what we've got here, first of all, in the oven there's a baking tray which I'm going to fill up with water to make steam, make the crust better. That's the first thing. Right, put that on. Shove it in. Next thing is to put some slots in the top of the baguettes. Now, the best way to do that, I find, so that it doesn't disturb the structure of it too much, they all collapse if you use a knife. Use an electric carving knife. You put never mind, and it says also to put the flour on the top and I don't bother about that. They've gone down a bit, never mind. I'll just put them in the oven and hope they reflate a bit, because they've gone down a bit because they're rather soft. Now they're in at 200 and they've got to go in for 25 minutes, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, and then after that time they go at 180 for another 10 minutes. So it's waiting time again, and we'll see how they come out. They taste good whatever shape they are. Okay, so the time is up. Time to get the things out of the oven and see how well they've worked. Just make sure we're pointing at the right area. Yep. Brown baguettes. They're a bit ruddy, they're stuck together. They've risen up again. Having sunk a bit. Turn them up. Now we'll see if the claim I made about them coming off the tins without having used flour is true. Oh, look at that. Two there, it's at the end. Slimy baguettes. Right, so perfectly formed and small. Let them cool and see what they taste like. So that concludes the making of baguettes. Mini baguettes from the Paul Hollywood, believe it or not, Red Book. And there they are.